Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you're watching all over the world, and welcome to a rainy Thursday night here in the Philippines for the RJ Ledesma podcast. And in my podcast, I interview the country's pioneering business personalities and entrepreneurs to learn more about how they think about their businesses, what are their success secrets, and can we hack those success secrets? How have they innovated their businesses during this pandemic? And more importantly, what opportunities do we see emerging in the new normal and even the next normal? Now, is there a business personality or entrepreneur that you would like me to interview here on program? Please let me know. Drop me a message. We would love to have them here on the show. I would love to learn from them. We are also live right now on Kumu, CBRC TV, Global Pinas TV, and now the Bounce Back Network. Tonight, very special guest, the President and CEO of Overseas Filipino Bank, a digital bank of LANDBANK. We have tonight our guest, Ms. Leila Martin. Now, OFBank secured its digital banking license last March from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, making it the first digital-only bank in the Philippines and the official digital bank of the Philippine government. Now, for those who are only finding about it right now, about OF Bank, it's gaining a lot of popularity, especially in countries with high levels of OFWs. It's gaining traction in top deployment areas like Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Singapore, Hong Kong, Qatar, Kuwait, Taiwan, Italy, Bahrain, and Malaysia. Now, here tonight to discuss how is this bank thriving and growing exponentially during this digital era is Miss Laila. At the same time, we will also have a special guest, one of the very satisfied customers of OF Bank, who is originally from Cagayan de Oro here in the Philippines, but is currently working in Kuwait. We will invite Miss Daisy, isang very proud kabayan. Thank you so much, Miss Daisy, for joining us as well later on. Miss Daisy Claire Tagod will be joining us in a bit. But in the meantime, can I please welcome our hardworking guest here for tonight, the President of OF Bank, Miss Leila Martin. Miss Leila, welcome, welcome to the show.
Hi, RJ. Thank you for having me. It's a privilege to join you in this podcast tonight.
Miss Laila, it's a privilege to have you here on the podcast as well. Now, right before I get into everything, no, I mean, just the idea alone, the Philippine government through Land Bank put up a digital bank. For me, that's quite an achievement, especially I mean, if you think it's a government
Mhm,
bank. Tell me a bit more.
mhm.
I mean, how are you? You were involved in the whole process because I know that you were sort of like seconded from the from Land Bank. Was it an exciting process for you guys when all of a sudden you realized that Land Bank would actually be going into digital banking?
Yeah, definitely, RJ. The OF Bank is the former Philippine Postal Savings Bank, which was a
Okay,
very
okay.
traditional bank, RJ. It's a
Oh, oh.
traditional bank. They were situated, I think you know this, Diwasang Bonifacio or Loton, Plaza Loton. Are
Rotan
you familiar with that area?
Opo,
So,
opo,
yeah.
oh.
So yeah, I think na abutan mo 'yon, although
Yes po.
siguro
Oo.
elementary ka pa lang,
Oh.
RJ.
Opo.
but but in 2017, RJ, the Land Bank of the Philippines was authorized to acquire Philpos Bank and adopt strategies to make it responsive to the needs of the overseas Filipinos and their beneficiaries. As early as 2017, the strategies was already planned by the Philippine
So kumbaga
government.
nandiyan na po. And Philpos was actually a traditional bank and it was not a government bank. It was a private bank which was bought out by Land Bank. Tama po ba ako diyan?
Actually, it was also a government bank, but
Government bank din yan. Opo.
it's a traditional trip bank,
Okay,
while
okay.
land bank is a universal bank.
Opo,
So
got it.
based on the EO 44 issued in 2017, Land Bank acquired the Philpos and was directed to transition it into a digital bank. So
Even
quite
in
a tall
2000
order.
in 2017 already that you were already thinking of making it a digital bank, yung
Yes,
Philpos?
yes,
Oh.
yes. But then again, RJ, we need to consider a lot of challenges because it's not that easy to transition a traditional to a
Oo.
digital bank
Oo,
when a
oo.
digital bank regulation has not been in place yet during those times. But with the support, the full support of our Secretary of the Department of Finance, Secretary Dominguez, and President Borromeo of the Land Bank of the Philippines, our
That's
parent
right.
bank. Well, I can say that OFBank is quite fortunate to have this two stalwarts in the banking industry fully supportive of the transition. We practically has to overhaul the whole processes and say, put in. Yes, it's quite, it was challenging
Oo,
really,
oo, oo,
RJ,
oo.
but quite interesting because we learn. We practically develop a digital bank from ground up.
From
So
scratch talaga, no? If you think about
from
it, no?
from scratch,
Oo.
uh, we had to blaze the trail, ika nga, for us to develop new products. Think of artificial intelligence. Think of having an online platform that you can access anytime, anywhere 24 by 7. So we were able to do that. And
Wow.
I'm sure the government is happy that the first digital bank is a government bank.
That's right. Ma'am, gusto ko lang bumati sa mga nakikinig. This is so nice because we've got our friends watching from the Middle East. Assalamualaikum, Marinela Andalusa. She's watching right now from Riyadh, KSA. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Marinela, for watching us there in Saudi Arabia. And of course, watching from Kuwait. Nako, Aneza Guaybar. Wow, marami kang mga fans, madam, all the way from all of the countries of our top deployment who are very happy with the services of OF Bank.
Yes.
Ma'am, matanong ko nga po, let's go back again to looking at OF Bank, no? So that at least people can appreciate the sort of the journey. Kasi for me, it's like an entrepreneurial journey as well because you had to
Mhm.
address pain points eh. Dalawa po yung
Mhm.
pain points yan. Una-una, yung pain points sa loob ng bank. Kasi syempre, if you are a traditional bank, you use traditional structures, traditional products and services. And more
Mhm.
importantly, the people, di ba? Kasi
Mhm.
usually when you talk about government, sanay sila. I mean, the common notion is that, they're so comfortable with the job, they don't break what's not, don't fix what's not broken, di ba? Siyempre,
Mhm.
feel po, kung relax silang sila dyan, they could have just, parang all of a sudden, digital bank, it was a mindset change for many people, and that was very, very, that was a big deal. But
Mhm.
secondarily, I think the other innovation or other pain point you have to address right now is that how did you discover, like, if I wanted to make it a bank that better serviced OFWs, what did you think of the type of products that you needed to create to make sure that it would be ideal for our OFWs, but the infrastructure ng banko will be ideal to meet that one? So let's talk about the first one, the mindset in the bank, and how you had to, I guess, how did you manage the bureaucracy at that time so that they can move forward into transforming from a traditional to a digital bank?
Yes, a good question, RJ. Well, OF Bank was envisioned to be a policy bank for our overseas Filipinos and their beneficiaries. So, among our primary customer, RJ, ay ang ating overseas Filipino workers na ng ibang bansa para,
Oh,
well, to meet the financial needs ng kanilang pamilya.
tama po.
Kadalasan ang attention ng ating OFW ay nakatuon sa mabilisang paghahanda ng mga documents nila for employment abroad.
Oo,
Talagang
oo.
po konting panahon ang meron sila to cover all that they need to do for their travel outside of the country. At ang pagkakaroon ng isang deposit account ang last sa kanilang priorities.
Yes,
As of
yes.
course, that would need a visit to a bank physically, go through all the documentation required, and of course, have at least 500 pesos to have an opening deposit account. Uh, Subalit, we need to consider why are our OFWs going out of the country? Of course, to be able to provide remittances, send money back home, and hopefully they can save as well for their future needs. Pero kung wala kang bank account, RJ, you cannot do this. The best
Mm.
way to address all the concerns of the OFW is for them to have an account. But they left the country already without a Philippine bank account. So that trigger, RJ, when we were designing the digital products of OF Bank, can we have them open an account online kahit saan
Oh.
man sila naroroon? And the solution that we have right now is what we call the digital onboarding system with artificial intelligence. Dito na, RJ, pumapasok yung AI.
Oo,
Nung
oo.
Nung bata-bata ko, RJ, na hindi ko naisip na pwede mag-open ng account na madali,
Oo,
secure,
oo.
and convenient online. At ginagamit na natin yung device na lagi nating hawak ngayon, RJ, ang
Oo.
cellphones.
Ito na lang
Very,
kailangan, di ba?
yes,
Oo.
very prevalent. You don't even need a computer, a desktop, or laptop. All you need to have a smartphone that can do selfie. Ang kagandahan nito, because you're not anymore required to go physically over the counter, napakabilis lang mag-navigate sa cellphone. Ang pinakauna lang dapat gawin ng ating mga kababayan, at ikaw din, RJ, I
Oo.
am encouraging you to open an account. You can open
Oo.
also an account because the
Meron ako
market
dito. May
required,
OFBank na ako
yes,
dito. Meron na po ako.
yes. Ang gawin mo lang, RJ, download the mobile banking app from Google Play or Apple Store. Then go through the standard credentials encoding, meaning pangalan mo, birth date mo, saang location ka kung OFW ka. So yung mga normal na
Oo.
kakailanganin mo to open an account in
Ma'am,
any
ito
bank for
tinatawag
that
na,
matter.
ito yung pinaka-basic na tinatawag na KYC, no? Yung Know Your Client. Ito yung simulan
Yes,
niyan, di ba po? Opo.
yes, that's the KYC. And further, because nga naka-artificial intelligence na tayo, RJ, merong proseso na madadaanan ng ating mga kliyente, ang ating OFW, na kailangan nilang mag-selfie. So inisip din namin nung
Sanay na
ginagawa,
tayo mag-selfie dyan, di ba? Mga Pinoy, sanay mag-selfie.
pinakagusto natin mag-selfie, di ba? So, pwede kang mag-selfie. Yun nga lang, ang nire-request lang namin sa ating mga kababayan, pag nag-selfie sila, pwedeng hanggang dito lang sa konting baba lang ng
O
leeg,
dito,
pwede na.
pwede na. Opo,
Pwede
oo.
na.
Hindi na full body
nila
shot, kailangan ganyan lang po. Ganyan lang po,
Yes,
opo. Oo.
pwede na ganyan. Okay, and then ang kailangan lang nila ay mag-upload ng identification card, isang ID na lang. So pagka OFW, ang kailangan lang i-upload mo ang yung alam mo yung information page ng inyong passport, RJ. Di ba
Okay.
meron isang page yon?
So, yan yung
I-upload
pinaka-ID
lang
na
nila.
kailangan dyan, yung passport
Yun
ID.
lang, oo.
Okay.
Or kung meron silang UMID ID, di ba sa Pilipinas nag-i-issue tayo ng UMID ID. At kung professional din sila at covered sila ng PRC, pwede din gamitin ng PRC ID. Ang
Oo.
ginagawa ng ating facility with artificial intelligence, RJ, yung, alam niyo yun, sinatawag nating facial points. Di ba, ang ating mukha,
Oo.
merong mga points yan. So, ina-assess ng ating AI at minamatch niya dun sa image ng ID or identification na in-upload po natin using the sistema po ng OFBank.
Oo.
At yung AI po ang magmamatch kung halimbawa si Leila Martin na OFW at yung image niya nagko-correspond sa totoong tao. So ganun na siya ngayon.
Oo.
So nagba-validate na tayo automatically using the artificial intelligence. Matutuwa ikaw, RJ, at ang ating mga kababayan, as soon as makapag-open ka ng account, makakatanggap ka ng email notice at saka confirmation sa cellphone
Social.
mismo na
Oo.
open na yung account mo. So as soon as sinabi ng sistema na open ang account mo, pwede ka nang mag-fund transfer papasok dun sa account na inopen mo or mag-deposit or mag-credit via remittance agency. Yun naman sinatawag nating RJ na outbound transaction, meaning si Leila Martin na OFW,
Oo.
kailangan kong mag-fund transfer sa iyo na beneficiary ko, RJ. Kailangan maghintay ka ng ilang oras, mga 2 to 4 hours bago siya ma-activate kasi may additional layer of control na ginagawa si OFBank to ensure na secure ang inyong mga pondo sa OFBank. Napakadali na ngayon, RJ. Wala na masyadong
Wow, ma'am.
gagawin ng ating mga kababayan.
Wow. So ma'am, lahat na ito pwede nilang gawin habang nagtatrabaho sila. Hindi na kailangan pumunta sa embahada, hindi na kailangan pumunta sa remittance center. Pwedeng sa cellphone mo na lang na ikaw ay mag-fund transfer. Ma'am, pag mag-fund transfer, marami pong mga OFW, babatiin ko sila lahat mamaya konti. Kung kayo po ay mga OFW, gusto niyo mabati po, magsulat lang kayo dyan sa ating Zoom chat para makabati ako. Ito muna po. Ito ba, when they access the account, so ano pa yung proseso niyan? So kunyari, nagbukas sila ng account, nandiyan sila sa amo nila, they have money, how do they transfer the money? Pwede bang GCash? Paano yan? Or direct, paano yung cash? Paano yung
Okay.
proseso niyan?
Yes, ganito RJ, since remittance at nasa ibang bansa tayo,
Oo.
kailangan pa rin tayong dumaan sa proseso ng remittance agencies or bank partners na tinatawag to remit because
Oo.
cross-border transactions pa rin yon. Hindi
Okay.
pa rin pinapayagan na dumiretso ka ng fund transfer from the location mo. Ang kailangan gawin, RJ, halimbawa si Leila Martin, ako po ay OFW. Ang gagawin ko ho, magpaparemit ako sa sariling account ko. Pagka credited na sa sariling account ko, I can do now fund transfer to any bank account in the Philippines.
So,
Pero
transfer the
RJ,
how do I transfer the money to myself lang po para sa mga mabaguhan na OFW hindi pa alam.
yes,
How do
yes,
you go about that? Paano yan po?
dadaan ka muna sa normal na remittance process, RJ.
Okay.
So yung kadalasang ginagawa nila ngayon,
Okay. Okay.
mai-highlight ko lang RJ. It would be advantageous sa ating mga kababayan na yung kanilang mga beneficiaries ay mag-open din ng sariling OFBank account.
Okay.
Ganito RJ, let me illustrate. Kung ang isang OFW na dati-rate para makapag-remit siya sa nanay, tatay, anak niya, asawa, mga extended families niya. 'Di ba meron tayong behavior RJ na gusto natin makadiretso sa atin, kanya-kanyang remittance. So ang
Oo.
ginagawa ng ating OFW madalas, nagre-remit siya para kay RJ, para kay Juan de la Cruz, para sa asawa niya. Isa-isang remittance, that would cost them
Oo.
additional
Grabe yung cost,
charges.
grabe yung charges
Oo,
niyan ah. Oo.
kasi multiple siya. So
Oo,
ang
oo.
dapat gawin ng ating OFW, mag-credit siya or mag-remit siya sa sarili niyang account. Pag nasa sarili na niyang account, pwede na siyang mag-fund transfer diretso sa account ng beneficiary niya. Kahit na ilan pang beneficiaryo, walang charge.
Ayan.
Wala siyang charge.
Oo.
Regardless kung magkanong amount, regardless kung gaano kadalas, walang charge. So ang remittance cost ng isang OFW sa ganitong proseso, single transaction remittance cost lang. Kasi nagke-credit lang siya sa sarili niyang account.
Pang galing nga, ma'am. Ma'am, gusto ko na batiin, ang dami mga OFW na sobrang saya. They are very, very happy sa serbisyo po ng OFBank. Pwede ko lang basahin lang po, ma'am. Dito, mga gaganda ng mga comments
Yes.
dito kay Alok Rehas, Pagkain Pinoy Rehas, watching from Kuwait. Uy, Al, pakita mo naman yan, Al Balse. Ayan po, di ba? Uy, maraming salamat, Alok, ha. Ito rin
Good
kay
evening.
Marinela Andaluza. Salamat sa OFBank dahil now, di ko na kailangan pumunta po sa remittance para lang makakuha ng pera para sa Pilipinas. Di ba? Ito rin kay Gerald Tagalog Heriales, watching from Manila. Gerald, kung ikaw may kamag-anak ng OFW, magbukas na kayo ng isang OFBank account. O Inday Louie, nagbigay ng thumbs up sa atin. Maraming salamat, Inday Louie. Marinela Andaluza, hi po sir. Ito, Neil Roma, Pakit Udtohan, thank you OFBank. Ito na last one. Aneza Guaybar, salamat sa OFBank. Dahil sa OFBank, nagkaroon ako ng savings account. Ayan, mami, yung pinakamalaki.
Yes.
Salamat kay Sir Gerald. Thank you for good assistance po sa ating mga miyembro. Ayan po yung importante. Kung may mga ibang OFW na maganda po yung karanasan tungkol sa OFBank, pakisabi na pakisulit lang sa ating comment box. Madam, isa pa nakikita ko dito, Ma'am Leila, one of the bigger advantages is really that, from my perspective, is that it's great for financial inclusion or for bringing the unbanked to the bank because especially if we're talking about our OFWs, many might have belonged to the underground economy or many have never had a credit card and if they were just here recently, the only way that they went into financial inclusion or fintech was GCash, right? Or PayMaya or any of those options. Tell me a bit more about that one as well, because that's another pain point that you're trying to address from a larger perspective that, this, what you're doing, OFBank, is actually one of the best ways for financial inclusion into the country.
Yes. We appreciate the support of all our OFWs right now. They are our inspiration, really, RJ. So we want to touch base with them as much as possible. We want to communicate with as many OFWs as possible. So what we're doing, aside from this podcast, RJ, that we know with you as the host, we will be able to encourage more OFWs to get into the OFBank way of banking as well. Uh, as a government bank, I can say we have the best of both worlds. We have the support of the Philippine government. We have the support of the a very big parent bank like LANDBank. And thus we are able to partner with government agencies to further our
Oo.
servicing and provide more products, RJ. Like we did recently concluded retail dollar bonds. Dati, RJ, di ba takot tayo na
Oo.
mag-invest because parang naiiba siyang environment na hindi natin makapa. How secure siya? Yun ang mga katanungan natin. And
At
to
yung mga
allay man,
OFW, walang access sa mga ganyan. Sa mga investment
dati
na ganyan.
wala.
Oo.
Yes. Ngayon, RJ, may investment facility sa mismong mobile banking app. Ang unang investment facility, product na inoffer namin last November, yung tinatawag na Premium Bonds. It's a Bureau of Treasury offering na sa amount of 500 pesos lang, RJ. Very small. You can buy a Premium Bond. You can
Wow.
invest in the
Wow.
Philippine government. And
Oo.
ang kagandahan pa nito, RJ, for a minimum of 500 pesos, you get to have the chance to win cash and other prizes like 1 million pesos during the quarterly or annual draw and the house and lot. So we proceeded further, RJ. We launched also last February the Bureau of Treasury Retail Bonds, minimum of 5,000 pesos. And then you
That's
get
wow, how affordable.
five,
Ang affordable naman ng
very
Oo.
very affordable. 5 pesos investment and all using the mobile app. And just recently concluded early this month, RJ lang, the retail dollar bond, minimum of $300. You can invest in the government of the Philippines. Of course, ito yung sinasabi natin na kaakibat natin yung mga OFW na maiangat ang ekonomiya ng Pilipinas dahil sa COVID. You'll
Oo.
know ang purpose ng retail dollar bonds. And bukod po sa nakakatulong ang ating OFW, mas malaki po ang interest nito kesa sa
Yes, of
traditional
course.
na savings account. Ang kagandahan nito, RJ, yung mga investment na to, kahit peso savings account ang inopen ng ating mga kababayan na ko-convert po ng ating artificial intelligence sa dollar value using
Wow.
the base conversion rate. At ngayon, meron na hong kakayahan ang ating OFW na mag-decide kung gusto niyang mag-invest sa ganong conversion rate. Anti-money yun, RJ, ha? Pag
Oh.
nagtipa siya sa MBA sa cellphone niya, sasagot yung sistema. Ang conversion rate is this much. Do you
Wow.
want to proceed? So, makikita niya yon sa cellphone niya, RJ. And we're very happy. Let me get this opportunity, RJ, to thank ang ating mga kababayan. For the first time in the history, our bonds, the retail dollar bonds, generated more than 10 million pesos investment from our OFWs in 33 nations. Kung
Wow.
saan-saan sila, RJ. And we're so thankful that we are part of this breakthrough, ika nga, in our OFW's consciousness in terms of investment.
Talagang breakthrough po yan. Ma'am, ito, ang ganda pa sabi dito ni Bay Jolog. Salamat OFBank. Watching from Israel. At may nag-comment dito at pagkatapos yan, si Erwin, problema nga sa OFBank transfer money to other bank like PNB account rejected. Pero si Bay Jolog sumakot dyan, sabi niya, successful ang transaction ko papunta PNB Kabayan kasi naka-able ang OTP, yung one-time passport generator ko kasi mabilis siya.
Oh,
Nakarami
yes.
na ang pag-transfer ng pera sa PNB Kabayan then walang problema. Ma'am, can you help us also understand ano nangyari dyan? Because maybe some people nagkakaproblema.
Yes.
Opo,
Yes.
pakisabi na po.
Oh,
Can you explain po?
thank you, Bay, ha? Thank you, Bay, for articulating that. tama si Bay. Meron po tayong tinatawag na OTP generator mismo sa MBA. Normally, RJ, yung OTP kasi, pagka nag-digital banking ka, pinapadala ng sistema yon to ensure na yung nagtatransact ay yung talagang account holder. So yung sistema po ng OFBank, pinoprotektahan po yung ating mga kababayan na hindi sila ma-scam ika nga. Yung one-time PIN is to document na yung nagtatransact, halimbawa si Bay, is siya talaga ang naka-open na account at papadala yon kay Bay at ire-require na i-encode niya yon sa required field sa MBA. Ang pagkakasabi nga ni Bay, ginamit niya yung one-time PIN generator. So ngayon, hindi na kailangan maghihintay ng matagal ni Bay because yung sistema mismo ang nag-a-assess at nagpapadala na sa kanya immediately. Hindi na siya kailangan maghantay ng OTP na padala ng ating mga telecoms.
Ma'am,
So, yeah.
Ma'am, pwede matanong din, yung, like you said, you're working with the government, so therefore, I mean, you're a government bank, so you can also pay for your other government services there. So pwede ba yung PhilHealth, yung SSS mo, pati pag-ibig, pwede rin ba yung sagutin ng dito sa OFBank? Can they pay for through OFBank already?
Okay. Sa ngayon, RJ, ang ating tinatawag na bills payment facility, ito, RJ, yung mekanismo para makapagbayad ka. So, bills payment facility, available ho siya sa OFBank at ang merchant o biller na nandun ay mahigit na 700 na.
So, solve pala.
Yes. Marami na. Very robust na ang bills payment ecosystem po natin.
It can be automated, ma'am? Can it be automated so I don't have to worry every month about paying those bills?
Not yet.
Not
You
yet.
have to trigger the payment because we're directly pulling from your account and it's a digital platform. Yung nabanggit mo na pwede bang magbayad sa Pag-ibig Fund, sa PhilHealth at sa SSS, konting hintay na lang po mga ating kababayan. Malapit na po na magkaroon yan sa facility po natin. Konting hintay na lang po. And pretty soon po, makakapagbayad na po tayo ng direct dun po sa 3 ahensya na kakabit po ng mga OFWs requirements po.
Ayan, nakakatulong din sa ating mga OFW. Yung tinatawag na pain points nila, di ba? Yan yung medyo nagtatrabaho ko na pag-isipin mo pa, at least tatanggal na yung isa, yung sa banking, na solve na yan. And then, syempre, may industry, government institutions. Pero importante dyan, yung lumalabas dito is that I really like it that we are giving access or financial inclusion to investment options para sa ating mga OFW. Sinabi nga ni Leo Ver Loyola dito sa ating comment box. So, hi Sir RJ, Madam Leila. Salamat po sa mga kababayan natin na natuto at nag-invest sa retail dollar bonds. Ayan. So, ma'am, they're very happy with the program. I'm so happy to hear about this type of service. Balik tayo kay Bay. Ang ganda ng comment ni Bay. Tanong lang po, madam, wala na bang premium bonds after sa premium bonds 2? Salamat. Ayan. Marami kang mga future investors, madam. Ano po yung susunod natin na mga premium bonds?
Yes, Bay. Yung premium bonds kasi, produkto ng ating Bureau of Treasury. So anytime na magkaroon po tayo ng second release or offering po, makakasiguro po kayo na i-inform ho namin kayo agad. So mag-antay lang po tayo because nakaplano naman po ang mga investment facilities po natin.
Ayan, ma'am. Ma'am, can I just go back to a question which I asked earlier? What I find truly amazing sa ginagawa niyo po is that you had to transform the mindset of the people sa PhilPost Bank because you were buying into a bank, or were there difficult decisions where you had to make na, okay, you had to, I guess, retire some people so you could bring in fresher, younger people to help you transform it into a digital bank? What was the, that's the interesting story here for me, diba? The story here is, how do you transform PhilPost traditional bank into this digital banking operation?
Yes, RJ. Since it's a digital bank and it was envisioned really to operationalize with the leanness manpower complement. Leanness, RJ.
Opo.
So, practically you're looking at around 10.
Wow.
10. Yeah. That's how basically automated kasi lahat, RJ. And what is working best for OFBank right now, even though with a very lean manpower, the resources of Land Bank are really backing up the operation. So the parent bank is really heavily involved in terms of ensuring that the digital operation of OF Bank is progressing as planned and as expected by the government.
Oo.
And yes, RJ, Land Bank shares the resources. I am a land banker, RJ.
Oo,
So,
oo, ma'am.
'di
Oo.
ba, gano'n naman sa banking industry, 'di ba? You are foremost a land banker, but you can be assigned to another bank like OF Bank to be able to transition this bank. And we're happy that with the help of our OFWs, we are able to, because this bank is basically the bank of our OFWs. And whatever pain points that we need to address, and I think that will redound as a lot of benefits to our OFWs, RJ.
Ma'am, matanong rin ako, I have question also, ma'am. Di ba 2017, that is when you took over Philpost. And then it was just in 2020, I believe, March 2020, when you got a digital banking license. If you don't mind me asking, but medyo matagal? I mean, from 2017 up to 2020 until you got a digital banking license. I mean to say, you're part of the government ecosystem na rin, di ba? So,
Yes.
it could have been faster. I don't know. Just to my mind, that's what I was thinking lang.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there were a lot of considerations, RJ. First thing, the financial muscle. So we need to determine whether the Philpost Bank at that time has enough funds to still progress on its own. And then, of course, we need to consider the branches. When we went digital, RJ, that necessitated closure of all branches for that matter.
Mm.
We've gone branchless. So yeah, you need to think of how to provide other employment or provide a retirement package. That has to be taken into consideration, because people aspect really is very crucial in this
Oo,
very
oo.
innovative transitioning. And of course, we need to close all the physical branches that entails a lot of administrative work.
Oo,
Not to
oo.
mention uh, putting the right balance of the financials. And of course, getting to be vetted by the Banco Central. So it's not very easy to transition from 2017 to practically the third quarter of 2019, or Philpost Bank, which transitioned in paper to OF Bank, is still practically a traditional bank in operation. So over the counter pa rin siya, account opening manually pa rin. It
Oo.
was only in the fourth quarter of 2019 that things began to move aggressively, because now we have a clearer plan. We were able to develop the system. Hindi ganun kadali mag-develop ng system,
Oo,
RJ. It
oo,
takes
oo.
quite a number of months and years, so to speak. But in 2019, on the end of the 2019, na-close na lahat ng branch. Paperwork is pretty much done, RJ. We started pursuing the digital banking operations na. But, eto naman, RJ, ha, remember I told you, medyo end of the 2019, traditional pa siya. But we were able to launch OF Bank as the first digital-only branchless Philippine bank in June 29, 2020.
Again, ito
That's
yung gusto ko
fast.
mabigyan ng importansya. Branchless bank. Di ba? That's quite
Branchless bank.
it's quite a innovation in the Philippine setting, di ba?
Mm-mm. So yun, RJ, mabilis na yon, ha? From January to June, we were able to virtually launch. So it was also a virtual launch of a digital bank na branchless at that.
Wow. Ma'am, I just want to share with you over here right now, kay Roel Santillan, watching from Japan. Dati pahirapan pang pagbubukas ng mga account. Kailangan pumunta sa branch sa Pinas para mag-open. Ngayon sa cellphone na lang, kakatuwa, ma'am. So you've really solved a big pain. As an entrepreneur, I'm very excited because you're solving a
Yes.
pain point. At kay Bai, Bai, maraming salamat. I like your participation. Sabi niya, ma'am, sana after the election next year, hindi mawawala yung OFBank. Siyempre,
Ah,
this is a government institution. So, kahit anong
yes,
administrasyon yan, nandiyan na po yung
yes,
OFBank. Hindi yan mawawala. And they already have your digital
hindi.
license. But
Yes,
ma'am,
bye. Yeah,
having said that,
bye.
ma'am, no, I have a question. Uh, the digital banking license is given to that as a government bank. Now, there's also a lot of, I just very recently, the BSP also said that they would no longer be accepting any more licenses for digital banks. I think you're up to 6 right now here in the country. Ma'am, syempre, you're still in a competitive environment. What is the competitive, if you don't mind me asking, what is the competitive advantage of OF Bank versus the other digital banks out there, particularly for our OFW market? Why is, I know the name is Overseas Filipino Bank, but why is it particularly advantageous or very competitive to get OF Bank versus other digital banks that will be out there?
Yes. Although at this point, RJ, we don't know yet what the other banks, the other licensed digital banks will be offering. Among the six licensed banks, only two are operating now. OF
Mm.
Bank and well, second is the Tonic Bank. So the four other banks are yet to operate. So
Oo.
well, it would be interesting to see and to know what are the other products will be. But for OF Bank, our online account opening facility, we can open accounts even if the OFW is abroad. Usually, when you have an online account sa Pilipinas, if you are residing in the Philippines, of course you can. But with OF Bank, our digital reach, RJ, spans already 113 countries.
Oo,
So
that's what, oo.
those, yes, so that's pretty much distinguish us right now. We are able to have on board a lot of OFWs in all parts of the globe.
But what is the marketing strategy for OF Bank? Because I mean, the traction is so strong after just barely a year after getting your license. The traction is so strong. You're in, you can tell me later on how many countries you're currently based in. No, was it because purely through the embassy? Because they would see it in the embassy. Was it because of word of mouth? How did you grow it so fast? How did the traction for OF Bank grow so fast?
Yes, RJ, we embark on a digitally driven marketing campaign. We release a lot of social contents in the social media like Facebook, Twitter, and of course our websites. We conduct financial literacy webinars espousing the value of saving, and we handhold our OFWs in mobile account opening. We do this in collaboration with the Philippine embassies and consulates, with the Department of Trade and Industry. We participate regardless of the time zone, RJ.
Oh,
So, of course, our partner, government partner, the Overseas Employment Administration, the OWA, the POEA, and the various OFW and seafarers groups and other Filipino community groups. We are assisted by the Land Bank of the Philippines, the Overseas Remittance Officer. Ang Land Bank, RJ, meron siyang isang grupo, very seasoned, very market savvy na grupo, and they are the ones who are in direct contact sa ating mga kababayan because they are strategically located in various parts of the country. But right now, since COVID, nandito sila sa Pilipinas. But pre-COVID, andun sila kung saan man ang ating mga OFW. So we capitalize on that resources of the parent bank. And of course, again, as I mentioned earlier, we try to have podcasts like this, katulad dito
opo.
with you as the host, to further propagate information about OF Bank.
Great,
So,
ma'am. Ma'am, can you just give us an idea of where is OF Bank present now overseas? Kasi maraming mga kababayan natin na nakikinig ngayon dito, syempre gusto nila ma-recognize kung saan sila ngayon. What are the different countries that we can find OF Bank here right now?
oh, it's quite, well, there are 113 countries, but as far as Bermuda, as far as Kazakhstan, but
Wow.
generally Saudi Arabia, Middle East, Qatar, even Iraq, RJ, we have
Oh.
OFWs in Iraq that opened the account. Tobago territories, uh, of course, US, Canada, France, Asia Pacific, Japan, Korea, China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, practically everywhere. Talagang from the interest generated by OFBank, we can see that us Filipinos are really global. So we're calling OFWs actually global Pinoys, RJ.
Mm.
We are servicing the global Pinoys. So
Got it,
yeah,
ma'am. Wow. So really, it's really servicing the global Pinoy. And ma'am, another question I have is like, okay, I like that. This is a very active chat group, which I like because ang dami nagtatanong ng mga OFW dito ngayon. Hopefully, may nakikinig dito mula sa Land Bank so they ask some OFBank to also answer some of the questions here. But ma'am, what are the future services and products that you see will be emerging as a result of the pain points that you? Siyempre, as you run a business or a bank, di ba? The more you run the business, lalabas din yung mga pain points na pwede pang sagutin ng bangko, new products and services. What are the new products and services that you think that will be emerging from OF Bank in the future? And it can be in relation to this question here. Maganda yung question ng kay Romer. Ito po si Romer Uyangguren. Sana ma'am in the future pwede pa namin ma-access yung card namin kahit virtual card lang para pwede na po kami magbayad ng mga government bills ngayon. So ma'am, what do you think? What are the future services that we can, or products and services that OF Bank will be delivering aside from the current services that it provides right now?
yes, RJ, sagutin ko muna si Romer. Romer, right now, even wala yung physical card or the ATM card in your possession at nasa abroad ka, you can pay using the bills payment facility. You don't even need to have the physical card in your possession. As long as you have opened the account online at na-confirm na meron kang account at nakapagpondo ka dun sa account, pwede mo na siyang gamitin. Usually, pwede mo siyang gamitin since magbabayad ka sa labas ng OF Bank. Like probably utilities, yung water consumption ng pamilya mo, dadaan ka doon sa National Highway, Payment Highway ng Pilipinas, which we call the InstaPay. So, sa ngayon, hindi mo pa siya kahit wala yon, ang ibig sabihin, pwede kang magbayad. But we also do recognize you on, and we are now planning to also have a virtual card. But just to manage po ang expectations ng ating mga kababayan, we will still be developing that, but we will try to make the development shortest time possible para mailunsad o ma-launch po natin sa pinakamadaling panahon yung virtual card product po natin.
Wow.
Ang isa pa po namin na ilo-launch soon.
Opo.
Another investment facility, RJ, UITF.
Wow, UITF.
UITF trust fund na tayo ngayon,
Oh,
RJ.
paki-explain na po sa mga first-timers na UITF, paki-explain po ng konti para
Yes.
ma-appreciate nila. At para pag nilabas na ng OF Bank yan, syempre, susugod sila dyan sa investment na yan.
Yes. Ang trust fund po natin, ang ginagawa po natin, lahat po ng mga magagandang companies or share or mga bonds, pinupull po natin ito sa isang basket. At ino-offer po natin ito sa public at a very good rate. At ito pong mga UITF natin are protected po. Although may sinasabi ho tayong NAV or net asset value, RJ, ika nga, di ba, na kung saan may posibleng malugi yung iyong investment, dito po sa UITF, makakasiguro po ang ating mga kababayan na medyo conservative, safe and secure, at papangalagaan natin na whatever yung principal na pera po ninyo ay hindi mababawasan at madadagdagan pa po ng interest. So yan
How
po
much
ang
ma'am
ating,
how much will be the minimum amount to invest in the UITF na ilalabas po ng OF Bank?
Yan ang pinagpaplanuhan pa namin, RJ.
Okay.
Dahil, syempre, i-consider natin ang lahat ng portfolio sa ngayon na hawak ng LANDBank because doon din po natin to ipapagalaw. Ang kagandahan noon, RJ, is even sa mobile, ma-access mo na ang mga trust fund. Hindi lang ang mga Bureau of Treasury Funds. So, unti-unti po na nagkakaroon na po ng ating tinatawag na savings consciousness in investment facilities ang ating mga
Oh,
OFWs. And
yan.
that's a good thing, RJ, di
That's a
ba?
good thing. Opo. That's why I'm very excited, especially para sa ating mga kababayan. Ngayon, ma'am, ito naging special request ko kay OFBank. Nung kinakausap ko yung mga team ng OFBank, sabi ko, gusto ko makausap isang OFW who's actually been using your services. So, ma'am, kung okay lang sa inyo, I want to invite right now a friend all the way, I believe, from Kuwait, si Madam Daisy Claire Tagod. Siya po ay nagtatrabaho ngayon sa Kuwait. She's been there for the past 7 years sa Kuwait. Pwede natin ilabas, Al. Let's bring Miss Daisy over here to the front of the stage. Ayan, Miss Daisy, kumusta kayo dyan sa Kuwait?
Good
Miss Daisy,
yes po. Hello po, good evening po sa inyong lahat.
Ay.
Yes, I want to take this privilege po in behalf po sa satisfied customers sa OFBank. I want to say thank you to Madam Leila Martin and of course kay Sir Gerald po, who is really approachable. Talagang pag may message ako may problema, ganyan, sa kaibigan ko, he's having problem, he's really approachable. Thank you po. Thank you so much.
Oh, Ma'am Daisy, pwede mo batiin mo na yung mga kapwa mong kababayan, mga OFW. Ang dami nakikinig dito ngayon sa comment box natin. Batiin mo naman, oh.
Hello everyone sa lahat dito OFW sa Kuwait, sa nagtatrabaho sa bahay. Nagtatrabaho po ako sa bahay and really I appreciate the digital banking of OFBank. Thank you po.
Oh, Daisy, matanong ko lang, no? Bago ka nakapasok sa OFBank, ano yung paraan mo? How do you send money back home? Or what were you using before you were using OFBank?
Before po, international remittance, nakukuha po nila sa Pinas, either in Malaysia, ganyan, pera padala. And the sad thing, hindi ko po na monitor kung saan napupunta yung pera, nababayaran bang mga bills, ganyan. So, yun po.
Diyan ka naging anxious kasi hindi mo alam kung talagang tamang paggamit ng pera ninyo, di ba?
Yes po.
Oh. So,
yes,
paano mo nalaman yung OFBank? How did you learn about OFBank?
Ano ko siya sa post ng Philippine Embassy sa Kuwait, dito sa Kuwait. So, nung nakita ko siya, and then it was digital, and this bank doesn't need, hindi talaga siya kailangan ng initial deposit, which is really like, oh, really this is good because I've been here in Kuwait like 7 years. Meron akong bank but hindi siya kasi, hindi ko siya ma-access through online at ina-apply ko siya, but then, through email, hindi sumasagot, ganyan, but anyway, itong OFBank is really a big help and I'm really satisfied po sa OFBank.
Oh, ano yung main service yung ginagamit? Ano main product or service na ginagamit mo mula sa OFBank?
Ang ginagamit ko usually is fund transfer kasi yung mama ko meron na din siyang OFBank. So sabi ko mag-open ka ng account para pag nag-remit ako direct to my account, and then if natanggap ko na yung pera, I will just transfer to my mom's bank account and then siya na yung ganyan po.
Ako mag-upsell ako dito, Miss Leila, ngayon. Miss Leila, ito yung tama-tama pang retail dollar bond mo, pati sa UITF mo. Pakisabi, Miss Leila, sa kanya, ano pwedeng gawin pa? Kasi sayang naman kung fund transfer lang gagamitin nyo yung OFBank mo.
Oo. Maghihintay ka ng mga public offering na tinatawag natin at malalaman ng ating mga OFW yon sa pamamagitan ng broadcast sa Facebook, sa website, and of course si Gerald makakapag-webinar po sa inyo once na meron tayong mga ganong produkto. Mas maganda po din na mag-invest po tayo doon at mas mataas ang ating makukuhang interest bukod sa nagkakaroon ka ng savings talaga.
Di ba, Daisy? Okay lang ba yan, Daisy?
Yes, nakapag-invest na din ako last, I think, February or March, yung RT25, nag-apply din po ako sa investment ng pool na yun.
That's the 5,000 minimum peso investment,
yes,
diba?
Yes, 5,000 po, yes.
Oh, masaya ka ba dyan, Daisy?
Yes, as
Sa
long as
investment mo, masaya ka ba dyan?
yes, yes. Super satisfied po ako sa OFBank at saka yung investment ko, hindi ko na siya inaano as long as I can help the government. Yun na lang po
Thank you.
iniisip ko. Yes po.
Yes.
Ayan, maraming salamat Daisy ha
Yes.
Thank you
sa
so much.
inspiration mo. O Daisy, but before lahat, ano bang mensahe mo sa ating mga kapang OFW na nakikinig sa iyo ngayon?
Yung ano ko lang, to all OFW na gusto nilang mag-open ng bank account, which is, this is better po kasi zero initial deposit at saka po mas safe po talaga siya kasi every transfer niyo po kailangan po talaga ng OTP. So this is really safe. Yun lang po. This is really a safe bank.
Okay. Maraming salamat ulit, Daisy. Ingat ka lang dyan sa Kuwait. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
again, Daisy Claire Tagot from Kuwait. Maraming salamat and very happy customer of OFBank. She's been with OFBank now for 10 months at hindi lang fund transfer ginagamit, kundi investment rin. So, Madam, very, very great opportunity. Again, thank you so much, Daisy. So, let me move back to Ma'am Leila ngayon. Ma'am, from everything that you've seen so far, Ma'am Leila, let's look again at the banking industry, especially digital banking industry. Ano po sa palagay ninyo yung magandang mga opportunities that you're seeing that will start to emerge in terms of online digital banking for our OFW? What are you seeing as the different opportunities for where we can grow the opportunities for digital banking and the services?
Well, of course, it would be best if we can also launch a loan facility, RJ. But the challenge will be because it's a lending facility, we need to embed a lot of credentials dun sa facility like credit risk because
Oo.
mandatory po yan sa ating government. But we're working on that because we want to also enable ang ating mga OFWs, lalo na yung mga bumabalik sa Pilipinas. Di ba? They decided to come back and then just set up their own businesses and yeah, go back to how we Filipinos live. And definitely we would like to make things easier for them in terms of having a loan facility that will address their business requirements as well. We're planning for that, RJ. And
Ayan.
we will inform po ang ating mga kababayan once meron na. Pero RJ, i-highlight ko lang. Doon
Oo po.
sa existing po nating mobile banking application, may access na po doon para sa dalawang klaseng loans. Yung housing loan po, ang tawag po natin, bahay para sa bagong bayani, at saka po yung tinatawag nating OFW Reintegration Program. So once they decided to come back in the Philippines, we will have to reintegrate them and ito na po yung loan component para sa small and medium businesses. So meron na siya, accessible na siya, although hindi siya sa mobile. Ang nangyayari po kung interested pong makapag-avail ng housing loan ang ating mga kababayan, they go to that facility and then po madadirect po sila sa site ng LANDBANK kung saan po pinaprocess ang ating mga loans. And basically, immediately, a personnel designated to manage yung facility will get into contact with our kababayan. And another thing that I would like to impress pala, if you won't mind, I have
Please
to
ma'am. Opo.
also take the opportunity. Nabanggit ni Daisy kanina na walang opening deposit requirement. True. Wala. At wala ring maintaining balance requirement, RJ. Kadalasan, ang mga account po, pag na-open natin at hindi natin na-sustain ang tinatawag na maintaining balance of so much, automatically po nasasarado ang account.
That's right.
Ito pong sa OFBank, hindi po siya masasarado kahit walang laman. Kahit na hindi mo ginamit at hindi ka pa wala kang pampondo pa, wag hong mag-alala. Open po yung account ninyo. So, yun din po ang pagkakaiba po ng ating mga bank account sa OFBank.
Fantastic, ma'am. Ma'am, last question po na lang po. No? It's been a very informative discussion. I think maraming natutunan yung ating mga OFWs at karamihan po dito ngayon ay may OFBank account na. Diba? What is the advice you'd like to give many of our OFs? Because sometimes, for many of them, this might be their first bank account ever. Or if they've had banking accounts in the past, they're not able to fully utilize it. You parang really use the benefit of that bank account. So, what is your advice to them right now? How can they fully utilize the benefits of an OF bank account? so that talaga to their benefit. Opo.
Yes. So I am encouraging lahat ng ating kababayan to open their accounts now. Dati kasi RJ, di ba, medyo takot ang Pinoy na pumunta sa mga bangko, nahihiya sila, wala silang dokumento, and they wouldn't even know siguro how to proceed. At kung minsan RJ, di ba talaga naman may masusungit na mga bank personnel.
Bank
So
teller.
that's something na alam nating nangyayari. Although of course hindi naman ganon, there are cases lang. So ang ating mga kababayan ngayon, hindi na po kayo kailangan lumabas ng bahay. Hindi na kayo kailangan gumastos ng pamasahe. Ang ating pong mobile phones enabled na po talaga to service lahat halos po ng banking transaction nyo. Opening an account, doing bills payment to 700 strong merchants po. Of course, nakaka-save din po kayo sa charges pagka nag-fund transfer kayo katulad ng ginagawa ni Daisy. Meron na din kayong access sa loan accounts at pwede din ho kayong kumontak sa amin anytime, any day of the week, lalong-lalo na po sa aming mga overseas remittance officer katulad ni Gerald at ni Leo. Andito rin, nakita ko pa rin yung isang masigasig at magaling na mga na oro po ng OFBank. Huwag ho kayong matakot sa paggamit po ng ating mobile banking app dahil napakadali po at makikita nyo na rin po ang alam nyo po, ma-experience po ninyo how to do digital banking talaga, how to protect your funds. Ngayon pong nasa era ho tayo ng mga pandemya at of course kailangan po lagi ho po tayong healthy at as much as possible po talagang protected tayo sa lahat ng ating ginagawa, be it physically or be it concerning ang ating pong mga accounts. So ina-encourage namin, RJ, you can now open your account. We are here to provide the service that you need as our OFWs, and we would like to thank all OFWs for their concern sa ating gobyerno. And katulad ni Daisy na nag-invest, malaking tulong po sa gobyerno ang mga investment ninyo po. Premium bonds, retail dollar bonds, na iaangat po natin ang ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. Ika nga po namin, we're in this together. Maraming salamat po sa pagtataguyod ninyo sa OFBank as a government bank at makakaasa po kayo na pinakamabuting serbisyo na sa abot ng aming kaya ang ibibigay po namin sa inyong aming mga kliyente. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat. Ma'am, at hindi lang yan. Nandito si Gerald. Ano ba posisyon ni Gerald dyan sa bangko po para malaman ng mga tao? Kasi ayan, very active siyang sumagot dito. Gerald is the, ano po posisyon niya?
Siya yung Overseas Remittance Officer. Kamukha siya ni Gerald. Yan si Gerald also. So sila ang madalas na tinatawagan ng ating mga kababayan kung meron silang problema sa kanilang pag-open ng account o pag-fund transfer, or halimbawa may kailangan silang pagawa sa Pilipinas na palagay nila makakatulong dahil may account naman sila sa OFBank. So pwede pong tawagan ang ating overseas remittance officers.
Pakita ko lang ulit, no? Al, can you show again yung number yung sa Facebook para baka sa mga nakikinig dito sa ating podcast, no? And you won't see the visual. It's www.facebook.com/ofbank-overseas-representatives, no? You can visit that right here if you want to be able to access our representatives kung may problema kayo sa or any concerns with OFBank. But at the same time, no, ma'am, you can download the OFBank app from both the Apple and the Google Play Store. Tama po ba ako niyan, ma'am?
Correct, RJ. Yes.
Okay. And ma'am, one last time sa mga bagong dating lang dito sa ating podcast, again, ano po yung proseso para magbukas ng OF account and then pagpunta sa remittance, pagkatapos yan, you remit the money to yourself. You just repeat that one more time for everybody else.
Okay. It's very simple to open an account. Just download the mobile banking application of the OFBank from Google or Apple Store. and then go through the necessary steps. Magti-trigger yung sistema kung ano ang kailangan yung i-encode at kung ano ang kailangan yung gawin. Ang pinakadulo po nito ay selfie taking. So yung artificial intelligence po, kukuhanin po yung image ninyo dun sa selfie at ima-match po niya ang image ng identification na in-upload nyo din sa sistema. At ganun lang po kasimple, may account na po kayo in 5 minutes or less. Para po mapondohan or makreditan ang inyong sariling account, dadaan pa rin po kayo sa normal na remittance process. Pagka na-credit na po ang pondo sa inyong account, pwede na po tayong lipat ng fund or fund transfer ika nga doon sa ating beneficiary account na we encourage also to open their own account. Ang paglipat po ng pondo sa isang OFBank account to another bank account o to another LANDBANK account for that matter, libre po. Wala kayong gastos. Ang paglipat naman po ng fund transfer sa OFBank account to another commercial bank, dadaan po tayo doon sa tinatawag na InstaPay facility at yun po may karagdagang charges po, depende po kung sinong bangko ang lilipatan po natin. So nag-iiba po yon. Hindi ko nabanggit, RJ.
Yes, ma'am. Sige po.
Probably may katanungan din ang mga OFWs. Halimbawa, kailangan nilang mag-withdraw or ang mga beneficiary nila mag-withdraw more than the limit ng ating ATM. Di ba may limit ang ATM kung kailangan mo ng physical cash? It's between 10,000 to 50,000. Ang LANDBANK ATM accounts po, maximum of 50, pwede mong ma-withdraw per day. So halimbawa po, ang beneficiary ni Daisy, yung ating OFW kanina, kailangan niya mag-withdraw ng 100,000. Ang gagawin po ng beneficiary ni Daisy, pupunta po siya sa kahit anong sangay or branch ng LANDBANK, do over the counter, using yung kanyang ATM OFBank card at makakapag-withdraw at makakapag-deposit siya over the counter. Walang charge din yon, RJ. So
But
kahit
ma'am, you can use your card for OFBank. You can use your OFBank card in a LANDBank ATM. Pwede ba yan, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay,
Kahit sa ang ATM dito sa atin, RJ, pwede. Ang nagiging issue lang talaga, RJ, because limited ang transactions natin sa mga ATM. And we know there are those na nagpapagawa ng bahay. A classic example, RJ, isang OFW, nagpadala siya sa isang beneficiary niya, 500,000, RJ. So, pinakredit sa account ng beneficiary. So, kailangan ng beneficiary i-withdraw. Of course, hindi niya ma-withdraw sa ATM kasi 50,000. Kung pupunta siya over the counter ng LANDBANK at ma-withdraw niya ng buo. So, meron tayong mekanismong gano'n.
Wala tang pain points ng ating mga kliyente. Sagot ng OFBank. Just a couple of things lang kay Gerald ulit. No, sabi niya, just download OFBank mobile banking app from Google or Apple Play Store and get ready with your original ID or passport, active email address, and active mobile number. From Leover Loyola, sa ating mga OFWs sa Europe, Latin America, Israel, Turkey, you have to contact just Leover Loyola. Nandiyan yung cellphone niya, +63956-770-8453. At kung kayo naman po ay nasa America, Canada, Oceania, kay Miss Felisa. Let's go to Miss Felisa naman sa ilalim.
Feli.
Yan, you can do it sa America, Canada, Oceania, Africa. Her Viber WhatsApp is +63917-592-0268. Ayan po, this has been so much great information para sa ating mga OFW. Ma'am, Leila, mabuhay po kayo at lahat ng ginagawa ng OFBank. I look forward to have you here again on the show. At sana mas marami tayong podcast na makasama tayo para we can spread the word of the great job that OFBank is helping our OFWs help rebuild our country. One investment and one fund transfer at a time. Again, ako po ulit si RJ Ledesma. Sa lahat ating mga kababayan na nanonood at nakikinig sa iba't ibang parte ng mundo, maraming salamat. Stay safe, stay healthy. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, RJ. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Madam, stay lang, ma'am, ha?
Yes.